How do you actually get your book in front of the right audience? Are author websites and email newsletters actually necessary? How do you create a Facebook ad that sells your book? And when should you, as an author, give up on marketing your book and admit defeat? I'm going to be answering all of these questions and more in this video. We are diving into a lot about social media marketing and tackling everything we need to do on our to-do list as an author. I asked my client community for their burning marketing questions and you all delivered, so I have tons of great questions to go through that you might be wondering too. So let's just dive straight into the questions. The first one is, what is your best tip for getting more Amazon reviews of your book? Now, it's no secret that Amazon reviews are really important and can help Amazon's algorithm drive more traffic to the items, the products, the books that have a good amount of reviews, because they know, okay, this is a product that not only sells, but people are enjoying it. So reviews are definitely very valuable and can increase the visibility of your book or your product. Now, I really like to use email marketing and social media marketing for this. The first thing I'll say is, as your books continue to sell more and more, you will find naturally that people will review it or leave a rating at least. But there are some things that you can do to encourage more reviews as well. The first one is quite simple. It's just asking. So if you use social media to market your books or you use emails to market your books, oftentimes the people who purchased our books are going to be in our community in some way. Not all, but some. And so in your marketing, you can ask for reviews. I often say, hey, as a reminder, reviews really help my book find more people who need it or could benefit from it. So if you have a moment to leave a quick review, it would really mean the world. And it can be really simple like that. The other thing that I like to do is showcase my reviews and thank and appreciate the people who have left reviews, which can then inspire other people to go leave a review as well. So I often feature reviews on social media, or I do a featured reader of the week in my email newsletter and encourage people to leave a review to be a featured reader of the week in the following email. So doing that can show your appreciation and acknowledge the people who have already left reviews. Of course, also promote those reviews so that other readers can see these glowing reviews that you have, but it can also remind people who already have your books that they should be leaving a review as well. The next question is, how do you get your book in front of the right readers or the right audience? This person says they have been trying to cultivate a mailing list and social media followers for my books for years. So if it has been years and you're not really seeing growth, it's really time to look at how well you know your audience. And I say this with so much love because I don't want you to be wasting your time when you might not be posting the right content to reach your audience. If all of your content is promotional, just advertisements for your book that aren't engaging, and you're not making an effort to talk about you, to showcase your personality, storytelling, relate to your audience, it is going to be harder to grow an audience. So there are actual tactical steps you can take to finding your audience on social media. I actually have a video about finding your readers that I will link for you above. But when it actually comes to your content, that is going to be the utmost importance to finding your audience. So if you have not already done this, I really encourage you to think about who your audience is, and not just think about your audience, but do the research involved. So start by brainstorming, who is my ideal reader for this book? Who am I envisioning reading this book and really loving it? Is it a certain gender, age, location? Are they someone who's a parent? Whatever different attributes, where are they on social media? Look at who is posting about comparable books to yours on social media. Of course, we are kind of making assumptions based on age and things that we don't really know, but you can start to get a good sense of who is actually talking about the books that are similar to yours, and what are they actually saying about those books? What tropes or themes or lessons are they talking about from this book? What really grabbed their attention? What resonates with them? What are the comments on your favorite authors on social media? What are people saying in the comments? What are they saying about the books in the reviews on Amazon, for example? There's so many different places we can look and do research and gather that insight and write it down. Keep a folder of all of this information to come back to when you go to create content. Okay, my book also has this trope or theme, or my book's different and unique because of this, but readers will still love it because of this. So that's the type of research that you should be doing, and then experimenting so much with your social media content. If you have not figured out what has worked for you, you have to continue experimenting. And my favorite way to research is just scroll through social media. I come up with so many ideas from seeing another post, maybe a viral post that has nothing to do with books or reading, and I apply it to my own content because I can connect the dots to, this is why this video went viral. It was really engaging. It hooked me in the first second. It was this long. It had this sound, and I recreate it for my own audience. So number one key is you have to know your audience. So please start there if you haven't yet. The next couple of questions are about TikTok, one of my favorite platforms for selling on social media. And I have an entire guide called the Book Talk Blueprint to help authors sell more books on social media that I will link in the description if you're curious. But this question in particular is about reviving an old TikTok account. So this author said, how do I revive a TikTok account after a long break from posting? I started my account a year ago and was very inconsistent. I don't really want to start from scratch again, but it feels strange to post with a whole new approach. Is it possible to revive an old account? And if so, are there any extra things I should be doing to combat my prior inconsistency? So this is a great question. And I've actually done a lot of testing on this and worked with clients who have taken a long break and come back to it. And some accounts do come back and others don't. Now, if this was an account with not that many followers yet, not that many posts, I would just go ahead and start from scratch, because if there's not much traction there anyway, it's not really worth bringing it back or reviving it. But if you do have an account with, say, 1,000 followers or more, and you've been posting consistently for a while and then dropped off, it could be worth going back to it and getting some engagement because you do already have a follower base there. And for that, I would say try for at least 3 to 4 weeks, posting consistently again and interacting with other accounts to see if you can get that engagement level back up to where it was, or of course higher, which is what we want as well. The next author said, I'm struggling to actually understand why some videos do well and others don't. I've had some that went crazy viral in the last 2 months, but a repeat of the style, the content, and some variation of those has not given me any of the same results. How do I know why a video succeeded? So this is a great question. The first thing that I want to say is sometimes it is truly the timing. I have had viral videos like 7 million views, 10 million views, and I try a very similar video again, or pretty much the exact same video again, and it doesn't take off. Sometimes it is truly just the timing of it, and that's why posting consistently, you're going to have stronger likelihood of a video going viral again because you are being consistent. But that being said, sometimes we can recreate or repurpose a video and it just doesn't land the same way. The first thing we want to do is look at analytics. The numbers, the data tell us a lot. So if you posted a video that did really well, or maybe you have just a video that performed higher than your other videos, look at the analytics on TikTok, but other platforms as well. TikTok will tell you the watch time and the percentage of people that watched the full video. And these are key to influencing your future content. If you can see, okay, people dropped off after 2 seconds in this video, but this video then went viral, people stuck around for over half the video, then that's a really good indicator that that length of video and that hook on that video really helped to drive traffic or more views. But that's not the only thing. There's other things like shares and saves. So people sharing it with other people or saving it for later to watch again. These are also great indicators of videos that TikTok's algorithm are going to push to more people who will then engage with it and save it and share it. So these are the different factors that I look at to determine why a video did well. Again, keeping in mind that sometimes it is just timing. So if you tried a video again and it didn't take off like it did before, try again in a couple months. Sometimes you do need to change up something. Sometimes it really is just the timing though, and it just lands with that particular audience who's online that day. And the next time it just doesn't resonate as well. Sometimes things really have to do with ongoing events or the time period. I know that I was surprised one time when I posted something about beginnings in August, And it landed really, really well because a bunch of students were starting a new year of school at that time, or graduating from college or starting college. And so it actually really resonated with my target audience, which worked really well. But I had no idea that August was going to be such a month for beginnings, right? We're talking about resolutions and things like that. So sometimes it really does just depend on the timing. The next question really resonates with me. They said, how to manage it all without getting overwhelmed. I start out strong, but then lose steam as I try to keep up with it in writing. So we have so much to balance. I actually made a post the other day about an author's to-do list and how it is just ever growing. There is so much that we all balance. So I first just want to relate to you. I completely understand where you're coming from. Some of you watching may have other jobs or people to care for on top of trying to pursue this passion, pursue your creativity, and make impact and income from your work. So I do feel you. And some days it gets very overwhelming. And those are days that I acknowledge the overwhelm, acknowledge how much I'm doing, and give myself a break. I don't encourage giving up. I don't believe that you should give up, but our brains need a break. It's so hard to be creative when we are stressed out or anxious about all of the different things we have to do. So I think it's helpful to, one, remember that nothing's an emergency, that nothing with being an author is an emergency. Your ads don't have to go out today. You can skip a day of social media posting. Your email newsletter can skip a week or a month. But I also want to recommend that you eliminate things that aren't working and narrow down to just a couple different things at one time. So when it comes to marketing, you don't have to be doing, 3 or 4 different social media platforms, weekly email newsletter, Amazon ads, Facebook ads, podcast interviews, all at once. You should pick 1 to 2 to start with and master those and get a rhythm, a routine down, and then add more. And similarly, if something isn't working and you've been trying it, and I think everything deserves its fair shot. So I think 4, 5, 6 months of trying something before you can really tell its impact long-term. But if you have been doing that and it's not getting you results, stop doing it. I had a podcast that I started last July. As an author, it was meant to help me sell books. It was meant to engage more with my community. And it was great. I was enjoying it, but it was not picking up steam like I had hoped. And I was spending hours on it per week. And I completely eliminated it from my to-do list because it wasn't giving me results. Even though I enjoyed it, I really care about my time and my time to do creative things. That allowed me to pour more time into this YouTube channel, which is helping more people than my podcast did. So sometimes you just have to eliminate things that really aren't working for you and kind of admit defeat on maybe a platform that just isn't getting you any results. The next question is on Facebook ads and creating a Facebook ad that's going to hook readers. There are so many different styles of ads, but Facebook is really pushing the reel style ad, that short form video that we are seeing on Instagram Reels, on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all the places. So the nice thing is you can actually repurpose your TikTok videos and your Instagram Reels into ads. These are working really, really well. So I'm actually going to link my most recent video on faceless video ideas because a lot of the styles that I mentioned in that video, specifically like the page flip style or the spine flip, the aesthetic style videos, are really effective for Facebook ads. And you want to change out the music so you're not using like TikTok sound library, for example, on a Facebook ad. But Facebook actually has a sound promotion library that you can access. So I recommend that. Or there's also Epidemic Sound where you can purchase music as well. Those would be my recommendations. Sometimes I even try videos without any sound, without any music added to it, and they still perform well. So it's also worth it to ask, do I even need music? Because a lot of people listen to ads on mute and just read the text on the video, which is why it's important to have text added on there. So I will link that video so that you can watch that and get some ideas for your next Facebook ads. Should you always put up your book for pre-order? And how long before the publishing date should you start marketing your book? You don't always have to put up your book for pre-order, especially if you are looking to launch your book in the near future where there's not really a point to having a pre-order period. Pre-orders can be a great way to start sending traffic to the Amazon listing or to another retailer or website and start getting sales and kind of encourage you and keep the momentum up to market your book because you see sales coming through before the book is even out. The other reason to do pre-orders is to reward people for ordering early. Again, it doesn't really have a huge financial benefit to the author to get pre-orders. Is often the same price as the regular, price once the book is out. So it's really up to you if you want pre-orders. If your book is coming out in 6 months and you started talking about it and you get people asking about it, it could be beneficial to offer pre-orders just so those people don't forget about it and never order it. They can go on and order it right then and there. But oftentimes we will find that once a book comes out is when you really see the most sales. People love that instant gratification, that 1-day free shipping, and they want their book now when they order it instead of waiting for months. So your most loyal followers, your most loyal fans might pre-order it, which is great. And you can also do a pre-order campaign, which can help you get more pre-orders. I do have a video on pre-order campaigns that I will link for you here for you to watch after this video. But those are kind of my thoughts on pre-orders. They're absolutely not 100% necessary. If you're doing a smaller launch period, you definitely don't need to do pre-orders. And then you also asked how long before the publishing date should you start to market the book. This really varies, but I recommend at least 2 to 3 months before the book comes out that you start talking about it and warming up your audience. I'm actually really excited to have an entire launch course coming out that will talk you through all of the steps to launching your book or creative project. And it's actually going to be free for anyone who joins my newest offer in November called the Creatives Content Club, which is coming very soon. If you sign up for the waitlist in the description, that is how you'll be eligible to get the free course in November. So be sure to sign up for that waitlist. I cannot wait to tell you more about it soon. The next author asked a very important question. How important are email lists and author websites? What is the single most important thing, in your opinion, to do that will drive sales in my direction? Okay, so having an email list is not going to sell books. Having a website is not going to sell books. Having an Instagram account or a TikTok account is not going to sell books. Strategy is going to sell books. Knowing your audience and making content for your audience is going to sell books. Content for your website, content for your email newsletter, content for social media. So just having it is not going to really help you, right? And that's just the truth. But I do really believe that both websites and email lists can be big drivers of sales. Email newsletters, when done correctly, people are way more warmed up and ready to buy in an email versus a social media post where they've never heard of you. If someone is opting into your email list and they have a chance to hear from you once a week or every couple of weeks, get to know you, even reply and have a conversation with you, that can be really helpful in increasing sales. And websites, again, aren't going to really drive sales, but they could increase your traffic. They show professionalism and commitment to you as an author. It's one, nice landing page that looks professional and people can learn about you, invite you to be on their podcast, find all of your books in one place. So it's very nice to have. But again, neither of them are going to automatically increase your sales without strategy. So I think websites are great. I get a lot of clicks to my website every single month from Google search, so it's raising my visibility. I personally like to control that as much as I can. So if someone is searching for my name or the name of my books, I want them to find me and my website before they find maybe someone pirating my book, unfortunately, or maybe it's someone's review site about my book that could be positive or negative, which is totally fine. But again, I want them to find me and my page and my contact information and my sales page for my book, which has reviews and links to go buy it at different retailers. So I like that aspect of having a website. And then the email newsletter is a list of contact information that you own. So social media can go away, it can get hacked, deleted. Even though I'm a huge advocate of social media and it is by far my biggest sales driver, I also like to have the protection of an email list and have that to rely on to contact my readers directly. Okay, so when is it time for an author to give up on their book? This author was very vulnerable with me and said, I just can't seem to grow a following or get many views or likes for anything I post. I have little to no sales. I can't get anyone to subscribe to my newsletter. The last book that I published in my series got 0 pre-orders. I'm starting to think my books are not what people want to read and it's time to give up. By that, I mean giving up marketing my current books. I would never stop writing. I'm glad you added that because I never want any writer to give up on writing because it's so beneficial for us as well as our readers. I know I touched on this earlier about really going back to knowing your readers for your marketing content. So it's really hard to just say like, yep, you're right, give up, this book isn't marketable, and it's time to start fresh. But I would be lying to you if I said that some books are more marketable than others. Of course, there are genres that are way more widely read than others, and not every book can be a bestseller, right? Not every book can sell thousands or millions of copies. There are so many books out there, and we're so fortunate in the reader community that readers don't just pick one author and that's it. Right? They read many authors avidly. And so there is space for all of us. But like I said, not every single book can be this top amazing bestseller. But that being said, there are readers out there for your book, even if it's niched down. And I don't know what this person's sales are in particular, but if your sales are little to none, like you said, I know that you can increase those sales. So go back to what I said earlier about really knowing your audience. And if you are feeling like it's time for a fresh slate, I'm going to write something new series, you have a couple options. The first one is sticking with your genre, your style, writing whatever it is you want to write and publishing it. The second one is getting to know your audience a little bit better and what is more marketable, what is being read right now, what people are really enjoying. And that doesn't mean changing up your style completely or changing up your ideas, but is there something that you can incorporate more that is more widely read? Are there certain tropes or themes in your genre that you could incorporate that still feel true to you, but could entice your readers a little bit more? I don't want to see anyone give up, but just from like my personal anecdotal experience, my first book, my cover wasn't right, my title could use work. I never wanted to change it, and I still haven't because it was my first book. I like it. It was, a reflection of what I was going through at that time and my knowledge at that time. And it didn't sell nearly as well as my second book and my third book, which were written more for the market that I learned about and had a professional cover and all of that. So there are certainly things that we can change and improve on over time, but the more that you do it, the more you will improve. So it might be time to write something new and start with a fresh series or a fresh book, get that professional book cover, really focus on marketing that book, knowing your readers, and trying to make engaging content for them. You mentioned email newsletters and that not being very successful. How can you entice people to get in your email newsletter? Is it a free chapter, free story, free novel? Is it exclusive updates or exclusive bonus material that your ideal readers would love? Again, this varies by genre, so I can't give you all the answers, but knowing your audience is always going to be my top recommendation for anything in marketing. All right, I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you all so much for your questions. These questions were all from clients within my private Facebook group. If you have ever purchased a course from me, you should have the link to join the Facebook group, but if you don't, feel free to send me a DM. And if you'd like to be a part of it, purchase anything from marketingbyshelby.com and you will be invited to join the group as well. I hope you have a great rest of your week and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.